you have on that fight, though? Would you think that Jake Paul would stand a chance in that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do? So you think he's legit?
Well, he's got range and he's got youth, and he's not easy to knock out.
Just like the rest of the world watching UFC 264 between Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, Atlanta Hawks star Trae Young was in pure disbelief over how it ended. The Irishman broke his ankle late in the first round, and just like that, the Diamond was declared the winner of the fight. Stars react to Conor McGregor snapping Shin at UFC 264. On Twitter, Young expressed his desire to watch the two fight again following the anticlimactic finish. He also expressed how much he hates injuries and how it ruins careers and momentous events like the UFC 264 showdown. Dustin Poirier won the fight via doctor stoppage after Conor McGregor fell to the floor when his left ankle snapped. For what it's worth, it's not only the Hawk star who wants to see the two run it back. McGregor himself wants to fight Poirier again, exclaiming that he will fight the 32-year-old American anywhere, even outside the octagon. Of course, in true Notorious fashion, he made those remarks with some additional trash talk.
More experienced, he has more fights, but this fight with Mike Tyson is going to be one of the biggest pay-per-views ever. It's on pace to be the biggest boxing event ever. So, business-wise and from a selling pay-per-view standpoint, Conor's in second place to me.
The UFC 264 fight between McGregor and Poirier is already their third meeting, so it remains to be seen if there will be a fourth reinstallment. The Diamond now has the head-to-head advantage, 2-1 following Saturday's win. Conor won their first match back in 2014, but Dustin has now beaten him twice this 2021 after his knockout victory last January. Will Trae Young and the rest of the world be treated with McGregor vs Poirier 4? Well, we have to wait until the Irishman recovers. Conor McGregor's UFC 264 fight with Dustin Poirier ended with a rather scary injury after the Irishman appeared to break his left ankle in the first round. The fight has barely even started when McGregor twisted his ankle while trying to punch Poirier, only to see his ankle snap. It forced the fight to stop, giving Poirier the win in the supposed to be exciting trilogy. Dustin Poirier officially got the W in the UFC 264 via doctor stoppage, something that Conor McGregor emphasized while he was sitting on the canvas while being checked. For what it's worth, according to Poirier, he heard McGregor's leg crack while blocking a kick early in the round, suggesting it could be the reason why Conor's legs gave up on him with the first round going to a close. As for McGregor, there's no doubt he wants another shot at Poirier after the anticlimactic ending of UFC 264. He said so as much after the fight, per The Independent. It remains to be seen if there will be a McGregor vs Poirier 4, but for now, the Fighting Irish will need to focus on his recovery before even thinking about fighting again.
My team sent you a $50 million offer this morning. $50 million cash, proof of funds. The biggest fight offer you've ever been offered, but you're scared to fight me, Conor.
Dustin Poirier won his UFC 264 showdown with Conor McGregor via doctor stoppage. And despite the injury to his opponent, he has no sympathy for the Irishman. After being declared the winner, Poirier didn't hold back in his comments about McGregor. He also called him out for his dirty strategy during the fight, especially when doing his up kicks. The Diamond also made sure to remind the Notorious of his antics before their UFC 264 fight, with Conor saying he'd murder him and even using Poirier's wife in his trash talks. Of course, McGregor didn't like the message at all and was enraged after hearing Poirier's remarks. In response, the Dublin native issued a challenge to fight the American mixed martial artist again, even outside the octagon. Continuing his disrespectful antics though, Conor brought up Poirier's wife once again. At the end of the day though, Dustin Poirier took the win in UFC 264, and Conor McGregor cannot do anything about it. After all, he wasn't able to walk the talk and ended up on the floor. It is still unknown if there will be a part 4 to extend the trilogy, but Poirier has all the bragging rights now after winning their 2 fights this 2021. The fight was the third in the trilogy, and now UFC boss Dana White has confirmed they will fight again for a 4th time. McGregor, meanwhile, has been rushed straight to hospital after the fight, and it has been confirmed he will have surgery on Monday. Conor McGregor has issued an injury update after undergoing surgery, and says he's feeling tremendous. He said, "I want to thank all the fans around the world for your messages of support. I hope you enjoyed the show. I want to thank all the fans in attendance at the arena. The place was absolutely electric."
This fight, this weekend, has more celebrities coming than any fight ever in UFC history. Got more pre-buys than any fight in UFC history. And I've been saying, to fans, if you know that you're buying this fight this Saturday night, do it now.
Who you fought or something, or you haven't fought this guy yet, or you ain't done that. If you think of it like a mirror, that man or that person who's writing this or saying this, he himself is projecting his own insecurities, because that.
It was a hell of a first round. It would have been nice to get into the second round then see what's what. But that's the nature of the business. A clean break on the tibia, and it wasn't meant to be. McGregor added, "Dustin, you can celebrate that illegitimate win all you want, but you've done nothing in there. That second round would have shown all. Onwards and upwards we go. We dust ourselves off, we build ourselves back, and we come back better than ever." Conor McGregor demanded his second loss to Dustin Poirier be ruled a doctor stoppage and not a referee-ended fight. The Notorious suffered a second consecutive loss to the American in the main event of UFC 264 in Las Vegas. The Irishman, 32, broke his ankle seconds before the end of the first round. McGregor's inability to continue prompted the doctor to call a halt to proceedings, meaning Poirier was awarded a TKO victory. And the UFC's first simultaneous two-weight world champion demanded it not be ruled a ref-induced stoppage.
Conor McGregor. Me. I grew vertically and horizontally. Conor McGregor, big name, small guy. Big name, small guy. Me. Little name, big guy.
He shouted, "Doctor stoppage, doctor stoppage. Tell them doctor stoppage." Conor McGregor is a man who knows his worth. Notorious lost to Dustin Poirier at UFC 264 in a spectacular fashion, when he broke his leg during their conquest. But the Irish MMA star, 32, is adamant that he's not finished in the UFC after suffering consecutive defeats to Poirier. McGregor took to Instagram to share an image of himself being stretchered out of the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. He captioned the photo, "You need people like me," while Conor McGregor lost out to Dustin Poirier at UFC 264. An old opponent was a winner. Floyd Mayweather was happy to show off his winnings after placing a $36,000 bet on Poirier to win. Money Mayweather walked off with $61,000 in winnings and served special praise for McGregor's conqueror. He shared his ticket on Instagram with a special note for Poirier. Jake Paul teamed up with Dustin Poirier to troll Conor McGregor after the UFC star broke his leg during his defeat to the Diamond.
No, fair play to them. Fair play to the Logan guy getting in with Floyd. I'm excited to see how that goes. Floyd looks a bit fat to me, man. It's a mad little scene at the minute, isn't it? But I'm not against it. Any man that is willing to make that walk, all the best to them.
Irish McGregor has now lost 3 of his last 4 bouts and awaits surgery after being carried off on a stretcher with his horrific injuries. YouTuber Paul, 24, was among those to mock McGregor, who predicted Poirier would leave on a stretcher, only to go out on one himself. And then the American added insult to injury by teaming up with the Diamond to continue making fun of the Notorious. UFC legend Ronda Rousey has leaped to the defense of Conor McGregor after his defeat to Dustin Poirier. Notorious was forced out of the fight after breaking a leg while stepping back in the octagon, believed to have been caused by a flurry of kicks.